All right. Peace and greetings, YouTubers. So welcome to another edition of In the News. You know, the past few days have just been extremely crazy. Like, I don't know what's in the water, but everybody tripping. You know what I mean? Folks have lost their minds. I'm hoping a few people find them, but to be honest, there might be some folks who just didn't have one to begin with. Like, I don't know what's in the water, but man, I think 2018 is trying to take the cake from 2016 as being the worst year ever. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me start with the lighter things and then we'll get into the heavier stuff. So, the Dr. Phil show. Many of you were in my comment section asking me my opinion about the girl who went on the Dr. Phil show. And if you don't remember, there was a young black girl who went on the Dr. Phil show. She was like a teenager, and she identified as white. She believed that she biologically was white, and that she had white blood flowing through her veins, and that, you know, she didn't have any of the black phenotypes, and she was extremely special, and she was extremely anti-black. Every viewpoint she had was anti-black. She hated black culture. She hated black food. She hated black lingo, black music, black hair, black anything. Anything black, she wasn't down with. She ain't like black neighborhoods. Look, she ain't even like Martin Luther King. I said, huh? Okay. And so, you know, everybody kept asking me my opinion, and I purposely didn't do a video on it because I was like, something is off about this. I want to see how this plays out. And mind you, I don't watch the Dr. Phil show, so the only clips I saw were what people were posting on social media. So, you know, a little 2-minute clip here, a little 30-second clip here, you know, and a few things on Instagram and Twitter. I'm like, So I was like, you know what, I need to watch this full episode because something is off. And so, fortunately, even though I'm about to cancel Xfinity because they're charging too much for cable, I don't even watch TV like that. You know, my last bill was $260. I said, I don't even be home. Like, this y'all last week Xfinity, last pay cycle. This is it. But anyway, so I DVR'd it, and then we were at work doing a little downtime watching it, and we're like, I'm watching this, and the first thing I notice is everything she says is spoken in extremities. Like, everything that comes out of her mouth is extreme and very one-dimensional. And she didn't sound like a normal person. Like, even if she had those beliefs since she was 5, like the mother claimed, she didn't speak as if she had those beliefs. She spoke as if that's something she just thought of last week, because she had no solid answer to any of the questions. Everything was extremely one-dimensional. You could almost predict what she was going to say. And I'm like, this is very off to me. And I was telling my coworkers, like, you know, this doesn't even seem real. Like, this seems extremely fake to me. And it turned out that, yes, it was fake. The girl's biological sister actually went on the show, or not on the show, but went on social media and was like, no, my sister does not think that way. And, you know, she pretty much put out all the family business. I ain't even about to entertain and put all that out there. I don't live in their house. But long story short, the sister was saying, no, they pretty much just wanted to, you know, the sister wanted to go viral and have a moment of fame. And the mom was in on it and this, that, and third. And I'm like, yo, the way people will sell them souls to be famous for 5 minutes or to be viral. And then when they get viral, they can't even handle, you know, the fame anyway, because I think people forget, when you blow up and you get a piece of something, you also have to deal with the negative that comes with it. So, good luck to her with that crap. I hope you got what you want, because you done went out there and embarrassed yourself in front of the whole country. But I knew something was off. And y'all are going to think I'm petty and goofy for this, but when she kept saying how she didn't like black fashion and she didn't like how black girls carried themselves and how they looked and this, that, and third, I couldn't get past the 4 layers of the lip gloss, like the clear shimmering lip gloss. Because to me, if you were a part of the upper echelons of society, because, you know, when she kept talking about herself as being a white person, she put herself way up here and everybody else were a bunch of hood rats and ratchet this and ratchet this. And I'm just looking at the lip gloss and I'm like, well, the whole lip gloss thing you got going here, that's what girls from around the way do. Like, I know a bunch of girls down the street right now that got that same lip gloss on right now. And I'm like, you know, for you to be a white woman, I'm just saying, you might need to make sure you got the full costume on. Like, because that's what gave it away to me. I'm like, no, she looks like somebody I'd see on the street. Like, everything. Even the what is this? A swoop? The swoop thing. Even that, I'm like, okay, yeah, you a little melanated to me, but okay. But yeah, so that was like, yeah, bye. That was a joke to me. And I think it's dangerous when you have people that are put on national platforms and they spew out information like that, because some people hold on to things like that and actually try to use it and use it as justification to actually do racist things. And so it's like, shame on that family for that nonsense. And, you know, the Dr. Phil people, I'm like, y'all need to vet your guests. Like, you need to make sure stuff like that is legit. But, you know, it's TV. You know, people, anything for ratings sometimes. And so I don't know what to make of that. But I'm glad I waited and let all of that play out, because the way I was this close to doing a video, I was about to lie into that whole family. Because even the mom, I'm looking at her sideways, because the mom was talking about, yeah, she's been like this since she was 5. And I'm like, that means you could have adjusted and corrected that mindset if this was true. Like 5-year-olds are still extremely impressionable. So are 6-year-olds. So are 7-year-olds. So are 8-year-olds. I'm like, oh, you could have easily fixed that. So that's what also made me question everything, because I'm like, no. So yeah, that's that. And by the way, please don't try to even make an argument about the lip gloss. I'm not saying that only black girls wear lip gloss. I'm just saying, as black folks, after September, we double up on the lip chapstick, the lip gloss, because we can't be walking around looking all chappy and stuff. And that's one thing that we always got to fight and make sure that we don't go out in public looking like. We'll double up on some car masks and everything like that. So I was like, yeah, that's what the giveaway was for me. I was like, yeah, that she looks very comfortable doing that. And if she was trying to be somebody else out, yeah. Anyway. Yes, we know white people wear lip gloss too, so don't y'all even come in the comment section with that. Fergie's ex-husband decided to do some interview, and he had to remind everybody that he believed that Draymond Green should apologize to Fergie because he laughed at her during her national anthem performance during I think it was a Warriors game. Or was it a Warriors game or All-Star game? One of them games. But anyway, here's my 2 cents. This isn't even really an important story, but just because. First of all, he was better off just not saying anything. Like, we had moved on. That mess was what? January, February? I forgot I even made a video about it. That's how long ago it was. And so it's like, everybody moved on. Why would you go back and bring it up? And then everybody goes back to look at it again. Because now, like, that video was trending again. Everybody went to go look at it. And then it doesn't help that the Warriors are petty. And they uploaded that video of somebody, of them dancing to a remix that somebody made. But the thing is like this. All celebrities, every now and then, they have a bad performance or two. It is what it is. It comes with the business. So, I feel like Fergie had moved on. So I'm like, you sit here and you open the same wound. The same wound, Flav! The same wound! Like, remember Flavor Love back in the day? When New York got booted off that second time, was pissed off. Like, yeah, you go and you open the same wound, and now you've, like, reignited everything. And then it comes off very entitled. Draymond Green doesn't have to apologize because Fergie went up there sounding like a seal. No disrespect to Fergie, but, everybody in there was laughing. Hell, I was laughing from watching from my TV. And so, I don't know. I just found that petty. And then, really, it's not like Draymond Green was out there, like, cackling down to her face. He was trying to hold it together, but she sang it for so long. That was like a 2.5-minute version. And by the time the camera even panned to Draymond Green, it was almost done. He had made it through the first 2 minutes. And he did that trying to hold together. He like, forget it. He just looked down. I was like, I understand. Because sometimes after 2 minutes, you pushing it. And so she, like, ain't nobody trying to, everybody can't handle sitting through something like that without laughing. It was funny. Chance the Rapper was laughing. Everybody was laughing. So I don't even know why the husband brought that up. You set that girl up because now everybody's laughing at her again. But anyway, as far as national anthems, like hers wasn't even the worst one. So I was like, because to be honest, the worst one in my opinion was that Cheetah Girls one. Remember, like it was the 2 girls from that group 3LW and whoever else was the Cheetah Girl, and they did that national anthem. Oh, you go on YouTube and watch that. Now that's something people need to. I want an apology for that one. That. Oh, and Carl Lewis. Remember Carl Lewis? Now that was funnier too. That was a good one too, because man, Carl Lewis got halfway through the song and realized he didn't have the range to sing in the pocket that he started in, and tried to drop keys towards the end. He said, "For the land of the free." I was like, you know what? And his whole team was on the sidelines over there just dying. But anyway, I just don't know why you bring up something from that long ago. Nobody cared. We were done. Like, it wasn't even worth the 5 minutes that I just talked about it. Nothing worse when somebody brings up something old and uses it against you later on or uses it later. Like, true story. I remember I had to be like 11 years old. And me and my brother, we used to always get fussed at if we ate all the snacks that my parents bought too fast. Like, if we ate them too quickly. Like, if they went grocery shopping and all the snacks were going in a week, they would light into us. They'd be like, yeah, eating up all the stuff you'll be buying. And so I remember one time, and I used to get pissed because half the time, we would eat a few of the snacks, but then my mama would be laying there eating the snacks too. And I'm like, well, you ate 2 or 3 of the honey buns too, so what I'm getting cussed out for? And so I remember I went and I got a marker, and I went and I found all the snacks we had, and I wrote, like, do not touch. This is for the kids, because you swear you were so grown in your parents' house, not paying for nothing, but trying to regulate. So I wrote, like, do not touch on all the snacks. Because I was tired of my mom and dad eating the snacks and then cussing us out about them when they didn't eat half of everything. Especially back in the day, my dad, even with cereal, he used to make me mad because my favorite cereal growing up was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, back when I actually still drank milk. And he would get like the big bowl and just pour like half the box and just go to town on it. And now we ain't got nothing to eat. But anyway, so long story short, My parents thought it was hilarious that I wrote, all the stuff on the boxes. They're like, wait, you don't even pay nothing in here. You trying to, okay. And so weeks go by. It's been like a month. Now, back in the day, my favorite pizza place was Papa Murphy's. Not Papa John's, but Papa Murphy's. Papa Murphy's was the one where they'd make the pizza for you and then you take it home and put it in the oven. And like, I remember I was upstairs in my room, living my best life, playing with Legos or something, Crash Bandicoot, something. And I can smell the pizza. And like, listen, my favorite kind of pizza is the ones that have everything on it. I want the mushrooms. I want the sausage, the olives, the onions, the pepper, like everything. I like a loaded pizza. I like my slice to be heavy. And so I'm in my room. I can smell it. It smells so good. They call us downstairs for dinner. I get down there. Where my plate is, there's a big old sign that says like, do not touch the pizza. Pizza is only for people who pay bills in the house and have responsibilities and this, that, and the third and aren't disrespectful and don't talk back and clean up when people say so and don't have to be told 2 times to dump the trash in the bathroom and don't have to be told 10 times to clean up after. I was like, dang. And so I was like, well, what am I supposed to eat? And my mom was like, go on in there and eat your snacks that you wrote your name on since you're so grown. And they were so serious. Like when I tell you I did not get no pizza, get any pizza, I was so pissed off. And my brother got to eat, and I'm like, wait a minute. And he's sitting there just egging it on. It just, the flavor just sits all in your mouth. And I'm just, okay. I was so pissed. Really, I did not get pizza. That day, I had like 2 chewy bars and a cup of noodle. I was so pissed. I was like, y'all are petty. I was like, y'all really sat on that for a month? I'm going to remind my mom of that when I finish this feed. I'm about to call her right now. As soon as I finish this feed, I'm remind her. Like, remember that time you ain't let me eat dinner? I had to eat some snacks. That's some petty stuff there. Parents are hilarious. But anyway, so yeah, as far as the Fergie thing, that's that. I don't know what to say. And then, yes, y'all were quick. I guess I was wrong with the Megyn Kelly thing because I just knew she'd still be working there. Because normally when people say some crazy stuff off the wall, half the time nothing happens. They get fired or they get suspended and then they're back in 2 or 3 months. Or if they get fired, they get rehired on another platform. But yeah, y'all, they shocked me. They actually fired Megyn Kelly. And y'all were quick to let me know that no, it wasn't $20 million. It was $69 million. I said, oh, but the jacked up part? She still gets $69 million. I said, it's interesting. That's a great conversation on privilege. I wish I could get fired and get $69 million. Shoot, let my job fire me. Pay me out. I'll go home for free. Oh, not for free. I'll voluntarily go home and give me that check. Give me that $69 million, please. But I still don't think that's the end of Megyn Kelly. I still think she's going to pop back up somewhere. And a lot of people were in the comment section on that saying, why is it such a big deal? Who cares? Black people are so emotional, this, that, and the third. And my response to that is, when you have somebody who's on a national platform spewing that kind of information and spewing it in a manner that's extremely assertive, other people sometimes take that information and believe it to be truth. And then they live by that information and they abide by that information. And then they pass on that same information to other people. And then that same cycle spins, which is why I always say history repeats itself and words are extremely important, which we'll get to later on with the other stories. And as far as Nicki and Cardi, I've already said this before, I'm checked out. I don't really have a whole lot of interest in it, but they've been going at it for like the last few hours apparently. My thing is just, I don't really know the origins of what they're fighting about because I never really had an interest, but just, can y'all just make your music and do your tours and be good to your fans and call it a day? Maybe there's more that I'm not really hip to and maybe that's why it's still going, but I don't know. And I think what makes it weird, celebrities beef all the time. It's nothing new under the sun. But with this one and the culture that we have in 2018, now you have that whole element of stans, like fans who are overtly obsessed with these celebrities to the point where they're like out in the street ready to fight over their favorite entertainers. Like, listen, I have my favorites, but I'm not catching a charge over Gladys Knight. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, what do I look like in court? Well, why did you assault the person? Oh, because I said Drake was a culture vulture, and they said, you want to do something about it? I said, yeah. Like, how stupid I would look? Like, I don't know, because the fans are, I think, what really egg it on as well. Like, the stands go so hard for the people that they like, where, these people are willing to, they're willing to fight. They're willing to go and dig up people's personal information and call their job and get them fired. And I'm like, are y'all really this invested in these celebrities? Like, I have my favorites, but I'm not about to be hitting nobody with a baseball bat because they said they didn't like Anderson .Paak. Because they said they thought Life Jennings' first album wasn't good. I'm not about to be fighting nobody over that. I'm not about to fight if people start talking about my Jacksons or anything like that. You don't like them, you don't like them. But, as far as the Nicki and Cardi thing, it seems like it's more of a business beef they have going. It's dealing with business and stuff. But I don't know. It is what it is. But here's the good thing. Because YouTube has millions of YouTube personalities, there's tons of others who I'm sure are talking about this and can give you all the scoop and everything just how you like it. So go find one of them to get your scoop on Nicki and Cardi, because I ain't got nothing for you. Anyway, now to get to some more serious things, because I did say earlier that I really think words matter. And I think words play a pivotal role into a lot of what's happening as of late. And so what triggered me this morning was, or not this morning, but today, I was watching the little White House press briefing with Sarah Sanders. And she said this bit about how the president was bringing the country together. And it just, I'm like, Sarah, y'all just be up here lying. And the thing is, like, there's just no shame or no integrity with how anything is done with this administration. So it leads me to my point about what's going on with everything that happened in Pittsburgh and the person that was mailing out the pipe bomb. So first, let me start with Pittsburgh, because as you know at this point, there was a synagogue that was attacked, and there were, multiple people who were shot and killed. And, the thing that pisses me off in that situation, whenever you have people who are in a synagogue or in a mosque or in a church or whatever place of, where they go to be closer with the entity in which they worship, that's when people are usually in a place where they're trying to separate themselves from the world. They're trying to find an inner peace and be the best person that they can be. They're trying to get to that place of their spirituality where they have serenity just saturated in their soul, and they're really just trying to give themselves the energy or the boost or whatever they need to make it through the rest of the week. Now listen, it doesn't really matter what your religious beliefs are. Even if you don't do religion, everybody has something that they do that they cling to whenever they just need to they need things to realign. And when you go and you shoot people who are in a place of vulnerability, who have done nothing to you, because you don't like the politics of the country, because you don't like where the country may be headed as far as economics or optics, as the shooter said, on his little social media post, he said something about screw optics, I'm going in. And you're just like, you gotta be kidding me. And the worst part is, a lot of the people who were killed were like senior citizens. These are people who've already lived their life and have done, because, in my opinion, I've said this before, I think some of the best years that you will end up having are your years after you hit 65. After you've retired, when you don't have to answer to anybody anymore, and if your finances are together and that house is paid off and everything is good and you're in good health, those are the best years, because you can come and go as you please. You can travel. You can spend those last moments you have, that last 20, 30 years, with your family and with your friends, and working on habits that maybe, or hobbies that you never got to really work on. You get to do things that, you never had the luxury to do when you were tied down to your 9 to 5 for 30 years. And with that generation, a lot of them didn't get the nice, fun office jobs. A lot of them had hard labor jobs where they were working assembly lines or mines or the mills and everything like that, and the quarries. And so, when you go and you just shoot people who had absolutely nothing to do with anything that you're pissed off about, it just goes to show that we are in a space where people have lost their minds. You got to be one jacked up person. And the thing about it is, so many people are so invested in their politics, they're willing to kill somebody for it. And I'm not talking about their livelihood or their right to exist, but I'm talking about politics as far as free speech. Everybody's coming after our free speech. I'm like, what? The right to not be racist in public? You think okay, whatever. It's like people are going after petty things. And so with this guy, he had a really big beef with the Jewish community. And I'm like, sir, what are you doing? And so he goes with an AR-15, because that's the weapon of choice, and goes and he shoots all these people. And the worst part is, one of the people who died had survived the Holocaust. So they made it through all of Hitler's nonsense from 36 onward and get to America, the place that's supposed to be so much liberty and this and justice for all and all that, and then you die here. If Alanis Morissette was not playing when she had, she was not playing when she had that song Ironic. You know what I mean? It's terrible, because the first thing I just thought of like the grandkids and the children of those people. I'm like, that's jacked up. And then as a parent, you got to explain to them why grandma's not coming back. Because some crazy lunatic went in a synagogue, started shooting up everybody. Like, come on. And then the president's response is, well, there should have been armed guards there. I'm like, we can't have armed guards at everything, because you want armed guards at the schools. Now you want them at all the religious places. You want them at the movie theaters. You want them at the malls. Listen, to be honest, the only place you may need to have some armed guards might be the DMV, because listen, even I have come close to almost committing a crime coming up out of there. I was like, the DMV is one place where that's a test of your integrity. I tell you that. But, even the president has no remorse, no sympathy. Like, the same day that all that's going on, he's over here tweeting about the World Series. So you just had some lunatic send a bunch of pipe bombs to a bunch of public figures, and you just had another lunatic shoot up a mosque and shoot a bunch of senior citizens and kill them. And you're talking about the World Series. Like, the priorities. And so, like, with this administration, again, like I say, words are important, because the issue is that individual and the guy who had the little pipe bomb things going, they clung on to the words and a lot of the narratives and the discourse that has been put out there about different groups of people lately. The narratives about, people really feel that they are losing the country. And I'm like, I don't get what you think it is you're losing. Again, what? Just because you can't be racist in public anymore, now you think you've lost the country? Or do you think you've lost the country because a lot of the entitlements and the government programs that were started in the 1920s and 30s and 40s that benefited a lot of white Americans are no longer in existence and are now actually being phased out? And now you think because you may not be in the socioeconomic status that you think you deserve to be in, all of a sudden it's the fault of all minority groups. It's the fault of black people. It's the fault of the Latinos. It's the fault of everybody else. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I just, wow. Yes. And the worst part is this, you can't even be shocked because something like this will happen again in a month. You know what I mean? There's been so many things that just go down every month, every week. You can't even be shocked. You're just desensitized to all of it. I'm just like, yep, another Tuesday. So even with the pipe bomb things, and that guy, he couldn't even spell good. Couldn't even spell. Half the bombs got sent back. I was like, y'all, you so pressed to kill somebody, you should have made sure you had the diction and the vernacular together. Which, it's a good thing the bombs were not successful, but imagine if they were. Imagine if all those people would have been killed. And the worst part with that is, a lot of the people who the bombs were sent to are not even in any kind of positions of power, aside from like Maxine Waters and a few other people and everything like that. Like, a lot of the people who were, getting, I guess, these little bomb messages, they carry influence, but there's no actual political power they carry at this point. And, you're just sitting here trying to send a bomb to them because you don't like their politics. Like, how crazy do you have to be? I have my viewpoints and I have my politics, but I'm not trying to kill anybody. That's like, as much as I dislike a lot of what's going on, I ain't trying to kill nobody. I just need a few people to leave office. And I just need things to align. And I really wish that more people would understand that when it comes to American politics and American, as far as economics, a lot of the beefs that people have are rooted in nothing, as far as the people who have so much to say about all the other different groups of people who don't fit in their same demographic as far as race. The issues and the anger that they have towards those groups of people do nothing to change the socioeconomic status that they're living in. There's nothing to change that. Everybody's, oh, this person's taking my job, blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. The country has changed. We're going from a country that was once industrial, and now it's a tech country. And unfortunately, if you don't have the skills in this new tech and investment banker world, unfortunately, the options are limited. And that's why I say people have to evolve with the times. You always have to constantly work on your craft for whatever it is that you do. And now we're in this place where, like I said, and it's so interesting because with all the books that I'm reading, I didn't realize that there have been so many government programs that really gave a boost to the baby boomers and the greatest generation, that generation before the baby boomers. There were so many programs and like entitlement programs and social programs that really gave those two generations a heavy boost when it came to their economic status, when it came to FHA loans, when it came to the GI Bill, when it came to a lot of different things. And so you have two whole generations who had so much help to get what it is that they wanted or where they needed to be. And so the generations that come after, which are the latter half of the baby boomers and the first half of the Generation Xers, grew up in an era where they saw all of these great things taking place. And so they always felt that, okay, all they got to do is what their parents did and they'll make it. So now you fast forward, they're doing what their parents did, but you know what? They don't have them same entitlements that existed back in the day. Some of that stuff is phased out. And in addition to that, when you're talking about, I guess, because people really say like America's greatest era would have been the 50s. Even to me, I'm like, I guess you forgot black people existed, so it wasn't great for us. But, people love that era because it was such an economic boom, and people forget that during that time period, America didn't really have a whole lot of competition as far as economy because we blew up everybody in World War II. Everybody was recovering into the 50s. So while everybody was in recovery mode from the 40s onward, America was just because, we always get the luxury of never having to fight on our own soil. And I hate to always say we, but I'm just talking about America as a country because I do pay taxes. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to be separated from the nonsense that happens indirectly, I contribute to some of the problems in the world, and it drives me crazy. But you know, a lot of the other countries had whatever they had going on, and we got to just sit in the luxury of not having to have an auto industry that was all blown up and burnt up after World War II, and the industrial industries and everything like that. And we pretty much had a monopoly on everything. And so those who grew up in the 50s and 60s really got a great economic deal. And generations that came later, especially those who grew up in the 70s, really, they remember seeing how good things were economically. And so they align that era with what America's supposed to be. And it's kind of like, I could really go there, but I'm not going to because this video's already long. But it's just like people, I'm tired. People are just draining. I don't know. You're really sending bombs out? You're mailing bombs because you're pissed off about whatever? It's just weird. Whenever their politics get that extreme that they got to go kill somebody. You know, it's kind of like, what's another example? Like, you remember when there were the bombings in the 90s of all the abortion clinics? And whatever your opinion on abortion is, it is what it is. But, you know, the main guy that did the bombings was like, well, because it's baby killers. So I'm like, so you gonna kill some old people? You still killed somebody. Like, but anyway, this has been a long video. There's another video I have to do. And it's about the narrative I keep seeing. I don't know what rapper it is, but I saw that clip and it drove me crazy where he was talking about what he would have done had he was a slave and how he was not. I'm going to get to that later because, boy, when I tell you I'm tired of people who continue to disrespect the plight of those who had to live through slavery and they speak from a privileged standpoint of being free and then talking about what the slaves needed to do during that time. Oh, we're going to have a good time on that video because I have a lot to say. I just didn't want to put it in this one because this video is already too long. So anyway, I'm out. Subscribe.